From United Nations Television, this is UN in Action.
It's a country under siege, Guatemala. Widespread violence and drug trafficking have paralyzed large parts of the country, threatening the safety of its citizens. In Alta Verapaz in northern Guatemala, the nation's army was also deployed for the first time since the country's nearly 4-decade-long civil war ended 15 years ago. This young man, whom we'll call Juan, is 19 years old. He's asked us not to use his real name to protect his identity. Like most Guatemalans, Juan grew up in a poor family. When he was just 14 years old, his alcoholic father kicked him out of the house.
The street was my home. In the street, I'd smoke with my friends. Hey, what's up? How you been? That's when I was introduced to substances. Cocaine. And I smoked way too much marijuana. We hung out and we were supposedly friends, but I didn't know they were using me.
Those friends are part of an international drug trade moving roughly 250 to 350 tons of cocaine yearly through Central America, en route to North America and Europe. With their enormous resources, the Los Zeta cartel has had little difficulty recruiting local youth like Juan, desperate to make a living. He became a foot soldier in the army of drug smugglers that roamed openly throughout the region. The government has managed to gain back some control in Alta Verapaz, but many believe that the current calm won't last. And those who would be most affected by the violence are often the most vulnerable, fears Mariano Gonzalez, a researcher at the Archbishop's Office on Human Rights in Guatemala City.
La mayor cantidad de personas asesinadas.
Most of those killed are youth, and a majority of the aggressors are also youth. So what we have are youth at the root of the problem of violence, both as victims and perpetrators. And this is causing a tragic phenomenon.
Trágico, ¿no?
15 to 20 homicides are committed daily in Guatemala, a statistic that rivals the daily death counts during the Civil War that killed more than 200,000 people. Of the current homicides, an alarming percentage of the victims are under 25 years old. One way to deal with the violence is through knowledge, and that's why this group, the Association of Friends of Development and Peace, ADP, was created. It's an innovative education program that trains and certifies young leaders in development and democracy studies. It's an initiative made possible by the United Nations Democracy Fund, UNDEF, which finances and oversees the project.
What do we understand by democracy? Participation. We are a society made, directed, and educated to obey, not think.
Roberto Alvarado is ADP's director. He believes that empowering the youth to have a voice in their own future is a crucial weapon in the war against violence.
We train future political leaders. We cannot allow the youth to just vote without analyzing the reason why they cast that vote. They are not just preparing for exams, but for real life.
With UNDEF's support, the ADP program trains more than 500 young people to be local community leaders, offering them year-long scholarships to learn development and life skills. Once they graduate, they return to their communities to help educate others on their rights, the nation's laws, and how to participate in the democratic process. After 4 years on the streets, Juan's siblings intervened and convinced him to go back to school and apply to ADP. ADP trainer Natalie Paquet.
He loves to participate. He's very mature, expresses his points of view, and likes to communicate. He can get the group going, which shows leadership.
Juan quickly learned that he could affect change, and his value was much more than being a soldier in a drug cartel.
We're beginning to apply what we know about democracy and peace, and we are making a change.
This report was produced by Austin Heberle for the United Nations.